Flash getting his units once again in the perfect nick of time. Hwasin now realizing that Flash is going heavy macro, heavy economy, and content to play the defensive Terran on a map where it is easy to actually do that, deciding immediately that he needs to catch up, and he's putting it on his expansions at the 9 o'clock position as well as the 11 o'clock position, but I don't think that it's going to put him ahead in this game, even though he's putting those 2 command centers down, because Flash has really been ahead economically, and now Flash has got an advantage also in terms of ground forces, because Flash is pumping for more factories. He's got a greater number of resources. Flash now looks like he's going for a drop in Hwasin's main. He's bringing a couple of dropships down, and he's using the advantage of that cliff at the 12 o'clock position, because Hwasin obviously does not have defense in plus here. Most of his forces are in holding that 12 o'clock base as well as in the middle of the map, and Flash actually is making some inroads here. Hwasin's going to be forced to pull some of his units back, and he might even be in a little bit of trouble here. Flash has got those siege tanks sieged in. Hwasin forced to bring his SCVs back along with his dropships. I think Flash making a mistake in loading those dropships again. If he has, I think he needed to have a couple more tanks up in support on that cliff to counter what Hwasin is doing. But it looks like Hwasin is going to be able to defend this, although he has lost a few forces. I don't think Flash will mind that, because his economy is superior and he's forced Hwasin back to it. And so I think it's a good job by Flash to keep the pressure on his opponent while he continues to reap benefits of his superior economy, of his advanced economy. The only difference in the game at this point in time right now is, and Flash, oh my god, Flash is putting starports down at the 5 o'clock base. This is crazy by Flash. I'm not sure if this is such a great idea by him. He's putting 4 starports down. Yes, I know he is ahead economically, but it's a very risky strategy. He's switching. Look, I think he might be wanting to either get mass raids or battle cruisers. Meanwhile, we're switching forward to the first-person view mode of Flash. He's managed to get a few dropships out. I was going to say that the main advantage for Hwasin was his early dropships and the fact that he had more dropships, and that if he could find a way of taking out some of Flash's dropships, he could fight back into the game with the expanded maneuverability that would grant him. Flash is trying to now take that expansion to the 12 o'clock position, and just looking at Flash's first-person view mode, you can just see the immaculate micro and the brilliant micro that Flash has, inching gradually forwards while controlling his dropships. He's actually managed to take the turret down, and as soon as that turret goes down, Flash dropping with his dropships at the same time, unsieging his siege tanks, and he's dropping vultures first. Again, clever by him, not losing too many siege tanks in the process while he unsieges his tanks and loading into the dropship. And this is the kind of micro you really need to be able to play at this level, and I have to say it's just perfect. There are a lot of pro players who play StarCraft, but I don't think I've seen such immaculate micro from many of them, and I don't think players like Shine would be capable of it. And Flash has built that science facility and is putting, I think, a physics lab down there, so it looks like he's definitely going for battle cruisers, and it is a little bit risky, but I think the fact that he's taken out that expansion at the 12 o'clock position gives him exactly the kind of lever he needs, because now he is ahead in terms of economy. He's put a massive force down there. It's going to be very difficult for Hwasin to take this back, and really, already Flash was ahead, already his macro was huge, and now Hwasin's back, and Hwasin really has to seize upon this moment. We're just looking at the first-person mode of Hwasin here, and you can see that Hwasin has no clue. He has not scanned that 5 o'clock position, and I have to say it's a stroke of genius by Flash to put the starports as well as the science facility down at that 5 o'clock position, because that is going to be the last place Hwasin is going to scan, since he needs to get through the 6 o'clock position first. He's more likely to scan the other bases of Flash, and he's not really going to be anticipating that Flash might be trying to hide his tech in the Maverick manner that he has at that 5 o'clock position. So it really is brilliant of Flash. He's chosen the perfect venue to actually build his advanced tech, to build his battle cruisers. It is the least likely place to be scouted by his opponent, and we can see that Hwasin has not comsat scanned it, and so is not aware of what Flash is doing. And really, Hwasin needs to do something. He needs to take the initiative, because this game is really slipping away from him, and he's going to be in huge trouble once those battle cruisers pop out. Looks like he might be making a move on that 12 o'clock base, but he actually holds firm. He pulls back. I think he's probably anticipating that Flash is going to be the one making the move, and Flash doesn't need to do that. Flash doesn't need to be the aggressor here. It's Hwasin who is behind in the economy. Flash has had more command centers up and running for longer. It's Hwasin who's behind in the economy, and it's Hwasin who actually needs to be the one pushing ahead and wresting control from Flash while Flash makes the switch to battle cruisers, because if Hwasin can pump out a massive number of tanks and glides and make a push and break through before Flash's battle cruisers can come into aid in the equation, or if Hwasin can effect some kind of serious drop, then he'll have a chance in this game. Otherwise he's going to be in huge trouble, and I don't think he's going to be able to do anything once those battle cruisers really pop out for Flash, and he collects a group of them. And the longer this goes on, the stronger and stronger Flash's position becomes. And really, you have to say that because of his massive economy and his economic advantage, Flash can afford to, and Flash's first battle cruisers pop out. Battle cruiser operational, I think because of his massive economy, Flash can actually afford to have ground forces as well as produce battle cruisers. And a little bit risky of Flash to produce a battle cruiser from his main starport just in case it got scanned by his opponent. That would have revealed his tech to him. And really, Hwasin needs to do something, and Hwasin looks like he finally might be ready to commit himself. He just seems to be patrolling endlessly with his dropships. Flash is put Spider-Mines down as well, and Hwasin finally now committing himself, moving in without 5 dropships. He must have affected the scouts to see where Flash's defenses are beforehand, but Flash is bringing in his battlecruisers back. He's seen this attack coming. Hwasin looks like he's going to go for Flash's supply depot line to try and slow him down. One Spider-Mine was planted there. Hwasin's dropped a sizable force there. Flash is going to be forced. I think Hwasin's trying to get Flash to bring back some of his units from his front line. Flash dropping himself with a couple of those dropships, but it's careless of Flash to leave his dropships there to take damage from those Goliaths, and he almost lost a dropship there. Flash now bringing in the battleships into way on the equation. Hwasin actually delivering decent damage to the supply depot, but actually, to be honest, no, actually he hasn't killed a single supply depot yet. Flash seems to have neutralized this attack. Once those Goliaths go down, there's going to be nothing to stop those battlecruisers, and now at the very least, both players' hands are revealed. Hwasin knows what Flash is doing, but Flash seems to have defended that first attack without taking any serious damage to his economy, or for that matter to his battlecruisers. And Flash now anticipating, looks like Hwasin's going to lose a dropship before losing anything, and those Goliaths are dying as he drops them on the ground. Great micro by Flash, focusing on those Goliaths, and now he's going to be able to take out those siege tanks as well. And Hwasin really, at this point, this game is going to be unrecoverable for Hwasin as far as I'm concerned, because he's committed so much to both of those attacks, trying to claw his way back into the game, and now he's lost out. Flash's economy remains unhindered, so does his supply. He's able to pump those battlecruisers that will. Had Hwasin been able to do a little bit more damage with his first drop, or had he dropped, I feel, a little bit earlier before those battlecruisers popped, had he committed himself a little bit earlier, I think he might have been able to take a few supply depots down and slowed Flash's production of battlecruisers down, and therefore bought himself the time he needs to come back in the game. As it is, he didn't, and he couldn't. Flash looks like he's trying to break through the ground forces. Hwasin's bringing reinforcements though at that 12 o'clock position, and the status quo is going to be restored there. I think Flash doesn't need to do that. He is firmly in control of the game with those battlecruisers, and it's Hwasin really he needs to push forward. Flash is now actually being able to bridge that gap after Hwasin committed all of his forces to those 2 drops, and also I think actually it was brilliant by Flash. I realize now what he was doing. He actually made that small attack at the 12 o'clock position to force Hwasin to take his forces away, and Hwasin fell for it, took the bait, and spent most of his forces to the 12 o'clock position, allowing Flash to move in with his tanks and battlecruisers, and now Flash is trying to take out those Hwasin's emplaced army on top of that ramp. It's a little bit careless by Flash. He needs to be microing those battlecruisers better to focus on the Goliaths, and now Flash is being forced back. Hwasin has range upgraded those Goliaths, and Flash microing those battlecruisers, firing shots, almost microing them as if they were hydralisks or raids, firing shots at the siege tanks as he pulls them back, and so far he hasn't lost a single battlecruisers. He has managed to take out one of those turrets as well, and Hwasin's upgraded Goliaths actually managed to kill off one of Flash's battlecruisers, but Flash has now reinforced that bridge, that force. He's now made a beachhead across the river, I would say, across the empty river, across the dead valley, and now has got the battlecruisers to back up those siege tanks. Hwasin trying desperately to push back, trying desperately to retake that territory, because with that position that Flash has, he now also controls the 12 o'clock expansion. It's going to be very difficult for Hwasin to reinforce it and defend both that as well as his main expansions at the 9 o'clock position from Flash's attack, and Flash really controlling the game beautiful here. And Diggity did tell me to say in the commentary how he had apparently remarked in his commentary that one of the players controls the game of the pace, controls the pace of the game quite well. And I have to say, watching this game now, I have to be in total agreement with him. Flash really controlling the pace of the game from the get-go, but he's made so many brilliant and insightful maneuvers in this game. It really is a schooling for any Terran player who wants to play StarCraft, and I'm just not sure if Hwasin can really do anything at this point. I really don't think he can. Flash is ahead economically. He's got the extra expansion. Hwasin has been behind pretty much once Flash, once he did not press home his advantage early on, or I suppose he didn't really have an advantage to press home. Hwasin now committing himself to this attack. He sent the SCVs down from the north, as well as brought a major force in. He's actually trying to pincer Flash's forces from both directions, trying to flank him. He's doing a brilliant job of it. He's got a decent number of Goliaths as well. Flash's ground forces have been wiped out, and those battlecruisers are coming under heavy fire. Hwasin microing those Goliaths brilliantly, firing a shot and pulling them back, keeping them out of range of those battlecruisers. This is great by Hwasin, using the ramp to full advantage, and he's actually killed off 2 or 3 of Flash's battlecruisers. Flash in almost a little bit of trouble here, but Hwasin needs to have reinforcements arriving, and he doesn't seem to have them, and now Hwasin's ground forces are mopped up. Flash arriving with his siege tanks to finish the attack, and genius play by Flash and Hwasin. That was really a great attack, and Hwasin almost managed to break through there just as it looked like he was. Flash re-secured his advantage. Great play by both players. Flash's reinforcements arriving in time, Hwasin's reinforcements not, and in the end, Flash had enough battlecruisers to survive that assault, but really Hwasin committing everything himself and almost managing to turn the tide. During the initial fire from the siege tanks, allowing his Goliaths to survive by using those SCVs and then bringing his siege tanks. So really perfect timing by Hwasin. He couldn't have done it much better, but unfortunately it wasn't enough, and Flash remains in control of the game. Hwasin has managed to reproduce a lot of Goliaths, but Flash has now got almost a full control group, if not more, of battlecruisers, and he's just going to focus those Goliaths down and take them out. And Hwasin trying to position those Goliaths under the barracks to make it more difficult, under Flash's barracks, to make it more difficult for Flash to target them, but Flash is too good for that, and now he's going to mop up. And it's been a great game, guys. This is GG. I hope you guys enjoyed it. What a fantastic game of StarCraft, and really, I have to say, Flash is looking like the most promising Terran player out there right now, and I have to say, I haven't seen a better Terran versus Terran performance from any player in any of the games of StarCraft that I have witnessed. That being said, I'm going to sign out. I just want to make a quick comment. I hope you guys can compromise on this whole spoiler situation, and perhaps anyone posting a spoiler could just write spoiler above it and leave a couple of lines blank. It doesn't cost you anything, and will still allow people to have a meaningful discussion on the game. This is Klazart, guys. Thanks for listening.